Welcome to the ride. It is June 5th, 2025, starting off here on 3-Mile Highway. I heard recently that Highway 221, Linville Falls Highway, is open now. We are right by Prison Camp Road here. Wow, I wonder what the story is behind that name. I've been down this road many times, but just noticed that it's by Prison Camp Road. Now riding up 3-Mile Highway, approaching Linville Falls area. You can see here on the right where there's many tons of new ballast stone dumped to support the road, and see that crumpled up guardrail, damage from Hurricane Helene. The 17-year cicadas have emerged over the last couple of months. Yeah, not when they're doing it. They live underground for 17 years in this nymph larva state. You may find their empty shells on trees after the metamorphosis. This male cicada has seduced a female with his romantic mating song. We are now approaching Highway 221 and Highway 194. We'll stop in here for some gas at the Mobile 1 on Linville Falls Highway. Now heading down Highway 221 south towards Marion, there's a sign on the right for the Linville Falls Campground just after the parkway. And coming up on the left, the beautiful Linville Falls Winery. If you look on their social media, they have music and food events. But yeah, I definitely remember back when I was a kid 17 years ago when there was a year of the cicada. We are now approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is still closed in this section. If you want to experience the Blue Ridge Parkway, a lot of it on the south end is open, but then many sections up here on the north end are still closed. We are approaching Highway 183 south. If you turn left on that road, it will take you to the famous Linville Falls and Linville Gorge, lots of great hiking and camping areas. This is where the road was blockaded off until recently, so all this that I'm riding now is new. I have not seen it since Hurricane Helene. On the right, here's a sign for Beer Falls and the Banks Creek store. I guess they will sometimes have that gate open and you can go down there and check those out. This is new asphalt and new guardrail and many tons of rocks built up to support the road. Now entering the Pisgah National Forest and more replaced asphalt and guardrail through this section. Those would have been unpassable washouts in the months following Hurricane Helene. Here's a view of the trees taken down, and you can tell how powerful the river got. All of this ground underneath the road right here was washed away and had to be replaced recently. Right here, the permanent path of the river has been shifted as it has been in many places, but you can tell where it was flowing right there very powerfully. I got a new storage box for my motorcycle here so that I can store my entire motorcycle suit really easy and while I go swimming or hiking or something. You can see coming up on the left where what is now just a tiny little trickle of a creek stirred up those big mounds of rocks. Let's go down here and see if we can get a closer up view of the river. I haven't seen any signs, but it looks like this could be just someone's driveway and private property, so we'll turn around here. But you can see over there on the right, where the little trickle of a creek is there, and then it came up basically to about this level right here. Unbelievable. Now continuing to ride on Highway 221 South, we're getting close to the Linville Caverns. There's a sign for it, in 3/4 of a mile on the right. I would have really liked to get a view of this in early spring before all the leaves came in, but you can tell it's quite a scar on the mountain over there. We are approaching Linville Caverns here on the right. They are closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and today is Wednesday, so we will not be able to go in there today, but I would like to make a video on the caverns sometime. Yeah, I think they're open Thursday through Monday, 9 to 6, and it only costs $14. We'll turn on English Road here and get up closer to the river to see what that looks like. Wow, so that creek flowing through there now is maybe 4 inches deep and 4 feet wide. At its biggest, this is just a guess, but it looks like it got over 10 feet high and probably 50 yards wide. This is a good vantage point to see how big the river got. Of course, all of this that we're riding over is new gravel and new bridge. It would have been totally destroyed by Hurricane Helene. This is the North Fork of the Catawba River. Just looks totally unrecognizable if you've happened to see it before. I see several disc golf baskets around. This would be a great place to play disc golf. You might have noticed back there on the main road that we passed the Linville Falls Mountain Club. I think that this course here is part of the mountain club. I'm not sure if the camera mic picks it up at all or not, but whenever I've stopped or gone real slow through here, I can hear the cicadas. They almost sound like some kind of a security alarm, and if you live in any one of these eastern states that have the cicadas, you know what I mean. The cicadas that I remember from 17 years ago had green eyes, whereas these that I'm finding now have red eyes. Not sure why that would be. But yeah, I used to collect their little brown shells, and with those claws they have, you could hang them different places, so I would find spots to put them and surprise people. You can see on the right those piles of sand in the grass. Those were brought up from Hurricane Helene from over 50 yards away. So yeah, it's 9 months after the storm now. Hard to believe. This is a big section of new asphalt and just totally new bridge, new road, everything. Wow, you can see where the river just took it right out here. Let's check this out. Look at that little creek in there. Just imagine how scary that was to see that little creek get big enough to just break this bridge right in half. This style of bridge with those metal channels does kind of grip your tire and move you a couple of inches either way that you didn't really mean to go. Nice water slide over there. Looks like a fun time. You gotta make hay when the sun shines. I've talked to a couple of people today who have made it a big baling hay day, because I think we're supposed to get some rain soon. I'm going to turn around here and go in the north direction just for a little while so that we can get a view of those mountains from the south side. Now passing the Ashford North Cove Fire Department and a minivan on top of a Subaru there on the right. I noticed their Smokey the Bear fire danger sign said that it's a moderate risk today to have fires. So that is much better than it has been. I mean, I think this has been a historic level of wildfires in western North Carolina this year. We are approaching Highway 226 and we will take a right and then go up the Diamondback. That makes a really nice kind of short loop that I've made today. If you don't have too much time, I think this loop takes about an hour and a half and has some of the best roads around in it. Coming up here on the left, Highway 226A makes a departure from just regular Highway 226. So this here is 226A, the Diamondback in motorcycling communities. There's the sign for Little Switzerland and the State Fish Hatchery. We'll take a left here and go across Armstrong Creek and check out the Armstrong RV Park. I rode through here a couple of months ago, so we'll see what progress has been made. Looks like there on the right, some new loads of big ballast stone has been dropped there to reinforce the creek bank since I was here last. And then there straight in front, that was kind of a muddy, sandy spot. It looks like they've dumped a lot of mulch and wood chips there. This gravel road here is looking better than the last time I saw it. You can see with that big machine there, they've been working on dealing with all those debris and mud. There are some campers that still have electricity and water hookup there in the very back. But for the most part, this campground is still just not functioning at all like it was before. I imagine they've got to, rebuild all of the infrastructure with the water and electricity hookups. That mud and sand on my left is evidence of how high and how powerful that little river got. Here on the right is the Turkey Cove Baptist Church. I think it's about 6:30 right now, so they must be having Bible study at 6:30 on Wednesdays. I've been curious about this Turkey Cove Cemetery. It's kind of nice, kind of peaceful to see some of these old country cemeteries sometimes, so we'll take a look at it. You'll see several sections of new asphalt on this road, and all of those are Hurricane Helene related. They were just big washouts before, where the ground that was underneath the road just completely got washed away. Look twice, save a life. Motorcycles are everywhere, that sign says. Amen. There is a very average Jeep, but it reminds me of this Jeep limousine I saw the other day in Hot Springs. It was great to see all those beehives back there. I know that in general, as a whole, the population of honeybees has gone down, but of course we need bees, so I love it when people keep bees. I try to support the local beekeepers whenever I can. A few months ago, this was basically just a big mud canyon right here, but with all of these rocks dumped in and new grass sprouting, it's looking much better. We are getting close to Little Switzerland now. Here's the Alpine Inn. What a view. Local ice cream. And you can just enjoy it right there on the edge of the cliff. It looks like that they are open. There's just some chill dogs up there. I guess those dogs are probably used to people going by, so look like they're relaxed. And there's a food truck, and that sign does say open. I would like to stop and try that food truck out, as well as the Little Switzerland Cafe up here, but I don't have time today because I'm going to try to make it to church by 7. This is quite a landslide right here. You can see that indention in the trees way down there where that water took the trees out. What an amazing view up here. Love it. On a clear day, I think this has got to be one of the spots that you can see the furthest distance of anywhere around. Nice shiny new guardrail and very smooth new blacktop here. We have now arrived in Little Switzerland. This sign says, I rode the Diamondback, and here is a nice concrete Diamondback rattlesnake sculpture. There are several people dining at the Little Switzerland Cafe this evening. I've heard from a lot of people that it's really good. I want to go there soon. In the past videos, I've turned left here. That takes you to the Parkway and the Little Switzerland Inn, but today we are going to continue going straight north on 226A. Nice view on the left here of the Switzerland Inn. I've showed the other side of it in past videos. Now we are crossing from McDowell County into Mitchell County. On the right, you see the Big Lynn Lodge, and on the left, you see we're riding parallel with the Blue Ridge Parkway. Coming up on the left is the Skyline Village Inn. We have several options around here to stay if you want to wake up every day to just an amazing view, and they are all reasonably priced as well. There's the sign for Marion in 14 miles if you turn right there on Highway 226 South. But we are going to go straight on 226 North, now crossing under the Blue Ridge Parkway, and the North Carolina Mineral Museum will be up here on the left. On the right, you see that mulch is being made out of all of those Helene debris collected. There are several just massive piles of debris around that are like the size of mini Walmarts. Well, here we are at the Spruce Pine Church of Christ. I'm gonna go up here for study, and we'll pick back up after. There's my wife going into church right there. It looks like there on the right, there is a downed UFO. I guess it's here for the Spruce Pine Alien Festival, Saturday, June 14th at 9 a.m. Now crossing Highway 19, I was just thinking that I haven't showed the actual town of Spruce Pine in any of my videos, so we'll take a quick tour through Spruce Pine. Now crossing the North Toe River, and up ahead it looks like another sign for the Spruce Pine Alien Festival, June 14th. Wow, look at all that sand that's still there, washed up from the river bottom by Hurricane Helene. This is called the Bark House Building Supply Store. Pretty neat the way they've used, I guess it's poplar bark, it looks like, for siding. We'll take a look at the Spruce Pine Ingles here. It has been closed since Hurricane Helene. There's a sign for a carnival, June 19th through 28th. There's no obvious damage to the building from here, but that's how a lot of buildings around are. They look okay from the outside, but then when you go inside, you see lots of mud and water damage. Since this Ingles has been flooded out, the Ingles over in Burnsville has just been much more busy. That parking spot straight ahead is where I met the guy off of Facebook Marketplace to buy this motorcycle. One of the best purchases I've ever made, for sure. Really enjoy my 2009 BMW FGS 650. From this side, you can definitely tell that the building is damaged there on the left. The Ingles website says that this location is just temporarily closed, but I was not able to find any information on exact plans when opening will be. But stay tuned, I'll let you know if I find any updates. On the right, you see those hurricane debris removal trucks. Every time I go out, I see probably 5 or 10 of those out collecting debris still. And if you look around, you can still see that there's a lot more debris to be collected 9 months later. See, look at that. Those trucks will be by to pick up that pile soon. It's been a while since I've checked out Highway 80 north here, so we'll turn and see what's going on with Highway 80. See that new asphalt in front of the bridge? When I first saw this, right after Helene, there was probably about a 8-foot gap between the road and the bridge where it was just completely disconnected. It's a little bit difficult to see from here, but there's a male and female goose down there by the creek. We are on top of many, many tons of big ballast stone and new gravel to fill in where this landslide washed out the riverbank here. This entire road here is completely new asphalt. The old asphalt of this road was just completely washed away. I used to come right about here, and there was a nice spot to get out and go swimming with my dog, but the river just doesn't look that inviting anymore. Looking at that church building from here, I can see that about 10 feet or so of the outer brick there on that left side is removed. So they've obviously got a lot of water damage to fix on that building. The Martin Chapel, it's called. On the right, there is East Yancey Auto, an excellent local mechanic here. I had a vehicle with them during Hurricane Helene, and it was just out of reach of the floodwaters, thankfully. You're excited to eat it?
Oh, yeah.
Feed baby oatmeal cookie.
That is massive. I love it. Did you get my big belly?
Oh, yeah. That clip was from Memorial Day. We had a friend stay with us, and we had a great time roaming around the town of Burnsville. That's from Appalachian Java. In that building on the right, there used to be an antique store, a coffee shop, and a gym, but sadly none of those have been able to reopen. However, Here in the location of the historic OOAK Art Gallery, now called the Micaville Outpost, is reopening, starting with an open house this weekend, June 6th through 8th. Countless hours of work have been done to prepare this building for the fundraising open house, so I plan to be there, maybe buy some local art and get some local food truck food. On the right, there was the Micaville Post Office, a strong cinder block building, now totally washed away. This road in this section was washed out and pretty gnarly, but they just finished with this new smooth blacktop a couple of weeks ago, so I appreciate that. Thank you for watching, God bless, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out, everyone.